As you are all aware, there have been many videos that have been made concerning the death and brutal assassination of Charlie Kirk. And there are many responses and emotions that have been expressed on all sides concerning how the death of Charlie Kirk has affected various types of individuals. And it's very understandable that in a situation like this that emotions are going to run high. And I will admit that the assassination of Charlie Kirk affected me deeply, and have a tremendous amount of respect for what he did. And even if I did not agree with everything he said or believed, I respected the idea that he would go into a hostile environment and give anyone with a disagreement a chance to discuss and have respectful, open dialogue about those differences. And in fact, oftentimes Charlie would ask if there were people who disagreed, and he would bring those people to the front of the line. And would oftentimes, I've seen, as I've watched hours and hours of Charlie's interactions with students and others on college campuses, that he would oftentimes calm down the crowd if they would start booing someone who would challenge him, and he would make sure to tell the audience to be respectful and to treat people respectful, especially the ones who disagreed with his perspective and his positions on various issues. But I have seen this, and as much as I appreciated Charlie and his ministry and his apologetics and what he did, defending his faith and defending Scripture many times, that brings me to this particular thing that I have seen a number of times going around the internet over the last few days, and that is people's attempt to interpret these verses up here based upon Charlie's time of death. And it's been pointed out that Charlie died around 1223, 1224. And so they come to these verses in John 12, 23, 24, and try to apply these as being some kind of mystical or coded message in the Bible about Charlie's death. I think I can speak confidently based upon how I saw Charlie handle Scripture in his engagement with students on college campuses, that this is not how Charlie would want this text of Scripture to be used. There is nothing about proper biblical hermeneutics that says that we should look for a verse that corresponds with anyone's time of death and try to find some encrypted message in it. First of all, the most wicked and evil of people, you could probably find a verse of Scripture that corresponds with their time of death that says something truly probably flattering and amazing. On the other hand, with the righteous, why does it have to be John 12, 23 and 24? Why couldn't it be any other 12, 23 throughout the Bible? Another issue with this is that when the original Greek text was written, there were no chapter verse divisions. That didn't come till many, many years later. And so when the book of John was written in Greek, there was no John 12, chapter 12, verse 23, or John 12, chapter 12, verse 24. That just didn't exist. There is absolutely no possible way that we should be using Scripture in this way. And so as much as we all, many of us are mourning at the death of Charlie, and we appreciate many of the strengths of his ability to defend Scripture, to defend his faith, and to defend the Bible, let us not, in our emotions, slip into bad hermeneutics and eisegesis and poor interpretation of Scripture. in our emotions. Charlie would have valued the Bible more than that, and we should value the Bible more than that. The Bible is not some mystical, Gnostic, cryptic, esoteric text that is designed for us to look for these kinds of encrypted messages in it. Let's treat the Bible with respect and honor. There are plenty of ways to honor the life of Charlie Kirk without dishonoring and abusing the book that he loved more than any other book in the world. And using Charlie's time of death with verses like this is not, no matter how much we miss him and are mourning him, it's not the way that we handle Scripture. And honor Charlie, that's wonderful. But let's also honor Scripture at the same time. God bless, guys. I hope you have a great evening.